Today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to use Google Maps. There are a lot of features of Google Maps that I probably don't know how to use, but I'm going to show you the ones that I do know how to use and use quite frequently. You can look at things as a map view, or you can look at things as a satellite view, which will actually show you buildings and things if you zoomed in on them, that kind of stuff. We're going to actually start with the map view so you can kind of see how to find places and do directions and that kind of thing. So the first thing I want to do is I want to type in where I'm looking for. And my husband and I are actually taking a trip to Washington, D.C. later this summer, so I'm going to type in Washington, D.C. It pulls up D.C. It gives you the temperature right now, current time, temperature. And then it actually zooms in on the city. As you can see, there are lots of stars on the city. These are all places that I have saved that my husband and I intend to visit while we are there. If I wanted directions to drive to DC, I can have it go from Columbus, Ohio, where I live, to Washington, D.C. It would take approximately 6.5 hours to get there, and it's an hour and 10 minutes to fly, and it says it's $182 right now. What's kind of cool is it actually shows you, for driving directions, it shows you where there are construction zones, so you'll know where there are construction areas that might slow you down, that kind of thing. Up here on where you can choose driving, you can choose transit, which would be buses. You could do walking. They also have bicycle and obviously flying. So that's going to give you lots of different information. You can show the traffic and see how traffic problems are impacting what your trip is going to be. As you can see, some of these little areas, like right here, it showed up red. Red means that it is a bad traffic zone where things have slowed down immensely. And doesn't seem to be a whole lot of slowdown from Columbus to Washington. Just a little pocket here or there. Just a few pockets here and there as you look at this. So that's kind of cool to be able to see that. Your satellite, if I click back on that, that's actually going to show you your topographical, where you have your mountains, your trees, where buildings are actually located. So if I zoom in on Washington, D.C., and I take a look, it's actually showing me not only the buildings and things, but it's showing me the traffic, because I still have the traffic up from where I did my directions. I can go to details, and it's going to do turn-by-turn directions on how to get there. I'm going to click on this X right now to get out of that, and as well as this X to get out of that that view that I had it in. I don't want to see the traffic anymore, so I can close that as well, and it will shut that off. So as I'm in DC, I can see all of the different buildings and things, and where I've saved things to be able to look at on our trip. So let's say that let's say I want to see the FDR Memorial. If I type in FDR, go to the FDR Memorial, it will actually zoom in and I can see the memorial from an aerial view. Notice I do have this one saved. It shows, gives a little bit of information about it, what the reviews are on it. Over here on the left-hand side, it shows you the top 3 or 4 reviews, and it also gives you the website to the National Park Service, because it is a national park. So you can click on that, and it will pull up the information on the FDR Memorial and how you can plan your visit, learn more about the park, all of those kinds of things. So it's kind of neat that it pulls those kinds of things up and gives you more information on it as you're planning a trip and those kinds of things. The other thing that's really kind of cool is being able to use this street view. If you click on this little person and drag it over top of the map, you can see those blue dots showed up. Well, if I drop the little man on one of those blue dots, it's actually going to show me a panoramic picture of what that spot right now looks like. And this is actually taken in the spring, it looks like, because the cherry blossoms are in full bloom. If I go back out and zoom out a little bit so that you can see the roadways and do that street view again, notice how it lights up everything streetwise around it. I can drop this little guy down onto the street and you can actually click on the street and be kind of like you're driving down the street and see the different landmarks and things like that. So if you're planning a trip, you can see, okay, that's probably not where I want to go. I'm kind of going the wrong way, or there's construction there. There's a turn there that is kind of tricky. I kind of need to kind of watch that. So you can kind of plan out your trip and take a look at what's there and use that to help you on your trip. When you zoom in on a place like this, it also gives you down here at the bottom all of the various pictures that people have taken and posted of the different areas where you are. So I did the FDR Memorial, so this is showing you some pictures that people took. Here's one of it at night. Here's another one of it during the day, and shows the different pictures that people have taken, and then you can exit back out of that, back to the aerial view, and see all the kinds of things that are there. So to save a place, all you have to do is once you actually look it up, if you just click on this the saved right here, it will save it by placing a star there. If you click on it again, it will take the star away. So if I click on that, it's not saved now. As you can see, the FDR Memorial lost the star that was on it. If I click on it, it will show back up. So it's kind of cool to be able to plan out walking tours and trips and all of those kinds of things. What I also like about Google Maps is the fact that it lists all of the places in an area. So you can see all of the different Smithsonians and things here in DC, as well as different metro stations. And then if you zoom in further, it actually shows you different restaurants and things too. Let me see if I can find one that will show you. A food place. I'm not seeing any. Oh, here's Rose's Luxury. It's a restaurant. So you can do that, use that as a helpful tool to find places around that are actually available for you to eat. Take a look at the menu and see if that's someplace you want to go. So this is a very powerful tool. I use it daily in my personal life, and I'm going to introduce it to my students this school year when they do their Monuments and Memorials project, to kind of help them see where things are located and use that information to help them with their planning of their own monument and memorial at our school.